So we'll give you the full field shortly. There's some aggressive starts out the front here. So it is 7.5 laps. Don't be confused with what you see out the front. So the full field, you've got Elizabeth Mukherjee, Isabel Matthews, Rose Walsh, Pooja Bulla, Heather Danks, Alana Sheridan, Grace Young, Marianne McSweeney, Freya Brown, Eden Hill, Poppy Donaldson, Summer Albertson, Tully Lang, Julianne Undrell, Leslie Edwards, Chloe Phelan, Christine Ashton, Elizabeth Hall, Ruby Ellis, Molly Bremner, and she is your leader, the 12-year-old out the front. Ebony Woodward, Olivia Beaton, and Anne Martin. So 21 starters in this Women's C 3000. And on the course proper at the moment, you will see Molly Bremner out front. Poppy Donaldson moving along nicely in second. Just behind them, you've got Freya Brown, Isabel Matthews, Elizabeth Hall, and also Eden Hill in that front leading group. So she told us, Molly Bremner, tonight, she put us 11:22 down on the start sheet. Tonight, she might do that work by herself. She's going to put a good little gap here on Isabel Matthews. Undrell. So Julianne Undrell now into third. Poppy Donaldson sitting nicely there. We've started to in some groups. We've started to little split up. This early pace from the 12-year-old is showing a few up. So the young junior still has a comfortable lead out in front. Julianne Undrell from Mansfield, one of the more experienced athletes, moves into second now. Mornington's Isabel Matthews in third. We'll get a real good gauge of what sort of pace they're setting when they come through the 400-metre finish here next time through. That'll be 1K. So the field spread now over 130 metres. Bremner still your leader. Good leader, she's looking nice. Julianne Undrell looking to try and join her through 1 kilometre. It'll be about 3:35. And 3:31 it is. So Julianne Undrell then had a look at the clock. So next through behind them, Chloe Phelan, Marianne McSweeney of Williamstown running nicely, Freya Brown of Mentone, Poppy Donaldson of Glen Huntly still there, Isabel Matthews and Rose Walsh of Melbourne University. So that's your front group at the moment on the course. Coming through in 4 minutes now, just in front of me, Alana Sheridan, and she rounds out the field now covered by 180 metres. So out the front, they're tracking along at sub 10:35 pace. The back of our group at the moment sitting in around that 12:15 tempo. So Molly Bremner with that quick start now will be joined shortly by a very well-balanced Julianne Undrell, who's just moved up nicely and has paced through a very even tempo. Probably a little bit more experience on the 3Ks. Chloe Phelan's next, the Williamstown athlete. And behind her, Marianne McSweeney, another Williamstown athlete. Both running nicely. So terrific tempo now out the front. It's McSweeney next through of the two Williamstown athletes. Behind them, you've got Freya Brown. Poppy Donaldson goes past me now. Melbourne Uni's Rose Walsh. Pooja Bulla. Isabel Matthews. And Tully Lang of Bendigo. So you'll find some of these athletes now have found the right pacing partner around them. And the one who's done a really nice little move out in front is Marianne McSweeney. So Marianne McSweeney's made a real conscious effort at the halfway point here to pick up the tempo. She's gone to the front and dropped Bremner very quickly with Undril. She's put 10 metres on them very quickly. So she'll get 3 laps to go when she comes past us next time. And there's a bit of move now up into 5th there. I'll have to track that runner as they come through, but a serious move on the course. As Marianne McSweeney leads them down the front straight with 3 laps remaining. It was the other Williamstown athlete there, sits and sandwiches this group. And it's Elizabeth Hall. So Elizabeth Hall moves up into 4th. She's probably the fastest mover at the moment. Freya Brown trying to guts it out and hang on to that group in front. She's certainly not out of that front group. Donaldson through next. The Melbourne Uni duo, as we talked about. Buller and also Walsh past me now. Bendigo Harriers, Tully Lang next. Chrissy Ashen goes past me now. Isabel Matthews. Eden Hill. Olivia Beaton of Ballarat YCW there. Grace Young of Collingwood. And also going past me there right now is, I think that was Ebony Woodward. So at 2K, 7:15. So the pace has dropped off a little bit. So that was about a 3:45 kilometre. So 3:45. And that fast mover I mentioned there, it is the Western Athletics Elizabeth Hall. So Elizabeth Hall really surged with about 1,200 or about 1,400 to go. So McSweeney now will be joined by the athlete that's done a lot of work in these middle phases in Hall. So now the race is on in front. There'll be 2 laps remaining. Bremner has not dropped off at any stage. She's been a really courageous run, the junior. She's going to be well inside her seed time if she holds this. Now Chloe Phelan. Julianne Undril looking good still. And Freya Brown, the Mentone athlete. That's your front group. But the race on in earnest out the front. 700 metres remain. And McSweeney doesn't want to give it up. So it's a real battle in front. There's a little bit of a move there. I've seen a bit of a change of cadence in 3rd from Bremner. So Molly Bremner's decided it's not going to be a race just in the front. I want to join the party. 600 metres to go. Can she wind them up enough? So we haven't lapped the runner yet. Our leaders have got just over 500 metres remaining. And this group in front of me have about 800 to go. We hit the front straight now. McSweeney, Hall. So Elizabeth Hall, the young junior, can she challenge Marianne McSweeney here? Some experience in front. She paced that well through the middle kilometre. And to race in 2 with Bremner deciding she's still not out of it. The gap back to her is 12 metres. 9:30 at the bell. Bremner gets the arms going. Chloe Phelan makes a good move. Freya Brown has started to make ground in this last 400 metres. Undril, who picked up the pace on that first kilometre. Christy Ashton through next, our Melbourne Uni duo. But down the back straight, McSweeney doesn't want to let go. Bremner's the one I've called with about 600 to go. Can she get there? She led through 1 kilometre in 3:30 and she's just found a little bit more, but she's not going to catch now that runaway Elizabeth Hall. Elizabeth Hall with 2:50 to go just turns it on. Mid-race she surged impressively from 5th into about 2nd. Now she's gone from 2nd into 1st. She's going to run away with the win here in this C-grade race. 1:20 remaining. And our Western A's athlete, Elizabeth Hall, moves out now to lane 3 to finish down the home straight. So Elizabeth Hall, move out to lane 3 for us to finish, please. McSweeney now through next. Bremner's going to try and challenge her in the final 90. This is a good run. The 14-year-old from Western Athletics, Elizabeth Hall, she came in 11:30 seed time. She'll go 10:47, 10:48. McSweeney will be happy. She'll go inside 11 minutes. Bremner, the 12-year-old, that's an impressive run for me tonight. She'll be right on 11 minutes, I reckon. Freya Brown has finished with a really long, strong last 1 kilometre. Very strong running there. Chloe Phelan, very consistent tonight, 11:08. Christy Ashton had a really good back end. She's negative splitted this one nicely. She comes through next. Julianne Undrell from Mansfield through now, 11:25. Out wide for his finish for Melbourne Uni. Rose Walsh will be our next finisher, thank you. Pooja Buller hangs on there next, just over 11:30. Our Ballarat YCW athlete there, Olivia Beaton. Poppy Donaldson, Grace Young. Tully Lung, Bendigo Harriers. So we're still going inside 12 minutes. A big dash home here, ladies. You'll get inside that 12 minutes. Eden Hill of Albury. Isabel Matthews is up there early, gets through next. Right on 12 minutes there it was for Anne Martin of Old Scotch. Abby Cartner through next now from Bendigo University. Ruby Ellis of Essendon, just inside 12:30. Alana Sheridan. Heather Danks just goes past her before the finish. Elizabeth McCurge there from Mansfield, so a couple of Mansfield athletes there. A nice late dash home there from Ebony Woodward of Bendigo. Summer Albiston of Mentone. And finishing this off wonderfully, Leslie Edwards of Mentone inside 13 minutes, 12:50. And that's our field in the women's C 3,000 metres. The winner, Elizabeth Hall from Western Athletics. And our first 3 there, all inside that 11-minute time. Just a reminder for all athletes now entering Lakeside, if you're running a 3,000 tonight, you must check in at the finish line. So you must check in at the blue tent at the finish line, all 3,000 metre runners. So all 3,000 metre runners, you must check in at the finish line, please, before your race, not at the start line. That may confuse you. Please make sure you are checking in at the finish line.